Oh, a nice, crisp, cool morning. Supposedly it got down to 42 last night. You can see your breath. We really needed this in California. It sort of feels like a fresh bath or something. It just feels good to have several days of cool weather. And this will destroy a lot of the pests that are eating the trees, and I don't want a spider on my tripod there. So this is going to be a World War III update. It's been quite a change since our last World War III update. So in just a matter of about 8 hours, the whole planet threw politics up into the air, and it is still falling. It is completely jumbled, the left, the right, the whole thing. They haven't even figured out which sides of what things they're going to start to follow yet. It's you follow the boards and they're just all over the place. But when this happened, the war with Russia is no longer a real threat like it was if Hillary Clinton would have won. We would have probably been getting pretty close to World War III with Russia, and it would have gone nukes. I don't know who would have pushed the button first. But with our new commander-in-chief, or what is supposed to be our new commander-in-chief, we'll find out by the end of today with the Electoral College vote whether or not he is our next president of the U.S. or not. But I think even if he loses this vote, the Congress will just put him in anyway. I have no doubt that Trump will be the next president. So that means that the war is going to shift from Russia to China, it looks like. He can't stand China, apparently. I don't know what happened or why. China called out the U.S. a couple days ago about our spying on them with an undersea drone, probably looking for submarines. They first came out saying that the drone was a research program by our science teams. Then Trump comes out with his big mouth and says, "You better give back our Navy drone." Shit. I said, this guy, don't get me started. I said, this is going to be an interesting how many years we have left under this guy. But he wants to go to war with China, obviously. The Taiwan call, the threats saying that we need to give back that China needs to give back our spy drone. He just comes out and says it. The U.S. is spying and we got caught, and yeah, it was in international waters supposedly, but we got caught and the drone was taken away. So what can I say? I don't know how all that happens, but absolutely amazing. Now, let's say that we do go to war with China. What happens with all the stuff that's made in China that comes to the U.S.? Well, I would think all that would stop. All those businesses that are doing work in China will have to stop because they'll be told to get out of China because the war's starting. That's a good portion of all the world's goods are made in China now. A lot of the food is now grown in China and shipped over to us and other parts of the world. This could be very, very as scary as going to war with Russia. So what would happen if you did put China and India together against the U.S.? Now the U.S. is going to have other countries such as Israel and probably some European countries that would be on their side. But between all that fighting and stuff going on, let's go over the board and take a look at what we're talking about. Pretty scary. So if China went to war today, they would have 750,000 soldiers ready to go, or reservists ready to go, or military trainees ready to go. So each year, each country has the population that comes to age that will go fight in the military. For China, every year they could pull up 19,550,000 people to go fight in the war each year. So they could lose, in a world war, they could lose that many people and break even. So the amount of hardware that they have is 9,150 tanks, 4,788 armored fighting vehicles, 6,246 artillery pieces, 1,770 rockets of various types, 6,246 self-propelled guns. I'm not sure what that is. It sort of sounds like a rocket to me. So their total air force has 2,942 aircraft of various types, and naval ships are 714. Let's go look at how many India has. In India, they have 616 million eligible military personnel that can immediately be called up. Now, their coming of age military personnel come up to 22,900,000. They have over 6,000 tanks. Their armored fighting vehicles are 6,704. Their artillery is 7,000. Rockets 292. Self-propelled guns is 290. Aircraft is 2,089. Naval ships 295. What about the U.S.? What's it got to fight against all this? The citizens of the U.S. coming of age is 4,220,000 that they could replace year for year in a military battle. Tanks 8,848, armored fighting vehicles 41,062, aircraft 1,299, rockets 1,331, self-propelled guns 1,934, aircraft 13,404. Now that's where the U.S. is thinking they're going to win a war is with aircraft. They put all their military might into aircraft. Naval ships 415. So however you put it, a military option for World War III will kill every human on the planet without a doubt, with all this stuff going off. So it looks like the military-industrial complex is the overall winner. Now here's another thing. Let's go over and look at the world population. As you can see, it's still growing. Regardless of what the naysayers say, it is growing. This is a real-time count. Now let's go down here and look at China, their numbers. Now compare China and India, which would pair up together, of course, to the US in pure numbers. Donald Trump dear, are you really that stupid to take on China? They are a nuclear power after all. We made sure of that. So in one way, we got out of one kind of war, end of world scenario, and we're quickly going into another end of world scenario. War with China. Ah, boy, I tell you. So we'll keep our eye on this, and oh, it's getting cold. I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the new subscribers and the comments. I really like the comments. GoogleTube has a lot of YouTubers are saying GoogleTube is broken, and that's why people aren't getting their messages, and they're getting unsubscribed and subscribers, and the whole thing is broken and is a mess. But if you feel like subscribing, try it and see if it works. Leave a comment. I may or may not get to see it, and I may or may not get to comment on it or comment, but please leave it anyway. I certainly appreciate them. Lots of good comments. And until next time.